We continue the Abdullah Yusuf Ali translation of the Holy Quran with Surat al-Jinn, the spirits. And by the spirits, the term means the hidden beings. And of the created beings, humans and the fire beings have choices. And the human beings are of the clay beings, so physically incarnated. And there's also the light beings, but the light beings didn't become fire beings. That's not what we mean by fallen angels. So the Davas, Asuras, Fairy, different names in different cultures, but it's the same thing. Not this ridiculous. Oh, it's a Irish spirit, or no, it doesn't. No, that's not. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, say it has been revealed to me that a company of the hidden beings listened. They said, we have really heard a wonderful recital. It gives guidance to the right, and we believe therein. We shall not join in worship any with our Lord, and exalted is the majesty of our Lord. He has taken neither wife nor a son. There were some foolish ones amongst us who used to utter extravagant lies against God, but we do think that no man or spirit should say aught that is untrue against God. True, there were persons among mankind who took shelter with persons among the hidden beings, but they increased them in folly, and they came to think as ye thought, that God would not raise up anyone to judgment. And we pried into the secrets of heaven, but we found it filled with stern guards and flaming fires. We used indeed to sit there in stations to steal a hearing, but any who listens now will find a flaming fire watching him in ambush, and we understand not whether ill is intended to those on earth, or whether their Lord really intends to guide them to right conduct. There are among us some that are righteous and some the contrary. We follow divergent paths, but we think that we can by no means frustrate God throughout the earth, nor can we frustrate him by flight. And as for us, since we have listened to the guidance, we have accepted it, and any who believes in his Lord has no fear either of a short account or of any injustice. Amongst us are some that submit their wills to God, and some that swerve from justice. Now those who submit their wills, they have sought out the path of right conduct, but those who swerve, they are but fuel for hellfire. And God's message is, if they had only remained on the right way, we should certainly have bestowed on them rain in abundance, that we might try them by that means. But if any turns away from the remembrance of his Lord, he will cause him to undergo a severe penalty, and the places of worship are for God alone. So invoke not anyone along with God. Yet when the devotee of God stands forth to invoke him, they make round him a dense crowd. Say, I do no more than invoke my Lord, and I join not with him any, as if they are God. Say, it is not in my power to cause you harm or to bring you to right conduct. Say, no one can deliver me from God if I were to disobey him. Nor should I find refuge except in him. Mine is only to convey what I receive from God and his messages. For any that disobey God and his messenger, for them is hell. There they shall dwell therein forever. At length, when they see that which they are promised, then will they know who it is that is weakest in helper and least important in point of numbers. Say, I know not whether the punishment which ye are promised is near, or whether my Lord will appoint it for a distant term. He alone knows the unseen, nor does he make anyone acquainted with his mysteries except a messenger whom he has chosen, and Then he makes a band of watchers march before him and behind him, that he may know that they have, Charlie, brought and delivered the messages of their Lord, and he surrounds all the mysteries that are with them and takes account of every single thing. And we can also connect this, that's a good passage to say in the evening. And I would also say it with Surah 51, 56 to 58, 46, 29 through 32, 23, 93 to 98, 2, 97 to 103. And we notice that, how the knowledge is available and the type of knowledge available to the prophets. And we're acknowledged that when we worship God, that we're not, we don't have to, invoke anything else for there to be a presence with us. And we see the implication that of these jinn, the rebellious amongst them, many of them have founded their own religions, but God has one religion. And so, Surah 72, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, قل أوحي إلي أنه استمع نفر من الجن فقالوا إنا سمعنا قرآنا عجبا يهدي إلى الرشد فآمنا به ولن نشرك بربنا أحدا وأنه تعالى جد ربنا ما اتخذ صاحبا ولا ولدا وأنه كان يقول سفيهنا على لا شطط وأنه ظننا لن تقول الإنس والجن ولا كذب وأنه كان رجال من الإنس يعوذون برجال من الجن فزادهم رهقا وأنهم قالوا كما قننتم مثلا وحالا وأنا لمسنا السماء فوجدنا مولعا حرسا شديدا وشوبا وأنا كنا نقعد منها مقاعد للسماع فمن يسمع الجنة شهاب رصدا وأنا لن نري الشر ريبنا في الأرض وما أراد بهم ربهم رشدا وأنا منا صالحون ومنا دون ذلك كنا طرائق قدرا وأنا ظننا لن نعجز الأرض ولن نعجزه ربا وأنا لما سمعنا الهدى من به فمن بربهم فلا يخاف يقصا ولا رهقا وأنا منا المسلمون ومنا القاسطون فمن أسلم فأولئك حرار الشرى وأما القاسطون فكان لجهنم حطبا ولا استقامت تاركتهم استقاما علقا لنفتناهم فيه ومن يعرض عن ذكر ربه يسلك عذابا صعدا وأن المساجد لله فلا يحار وأنه لما قام عبد الله يدعو كلمة قال إنما رشدي حار قال إني لم أتركم دارا ولا رشدا قال إني لن يجران من الله أحد مناجد من مدحدا إلا بلاغا من الله ورسلاته ومن يعص ورسوله فإنه نار جهنم خالدين فيها أبدا حتى إذا رأى ما يوعدون فسيعلمن من أن في النصر وما قالوا ولدا Qolanari Qarn Maduadunam Yanjalu Lahu Rabbi Amada Almungabe Falai Osara Alangabi Hada Alamir Tadamera Student Funus Community Him Kalfil Saba Layman Kamang Rasata Rabihim Watapamarihim Haskula Shayin Nadada and 51, 56 through 58. Wamma kalakto jannawalan salalayabadun maridu minimirskan wamaridu anyotamun innalahu warazakulu qawatul matin. And 46, 29 through 32. وَيَسْتَرَفْنَا لَكَ النَّفَارًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقُرْآنَ فَلَمَّا حَضَرُوا قَالُوا أَنصِتُوا فَلَمَّا قُضِيَ وَلَّوْا إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِم مُنذِرِينَ قَالُوا يَا قَوْمَنَا إِنَّا سَمِعْنَا كِتَابًا أُنزِلَ مِن بَعْدِ مُوسَىٰ مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْحَقِّ وَإِلَى طَرِيقٍ مُّسْتَقِيمٍ يَا قَوْمَنَا أَجِيبُوا دَاعِيَ اللَّهِ وَآمِنُوا يغفر لكم من ذنوبكم ويجيركم من عذاب أليم ومن لا يجب دعوة فليس بمعجز في الأرض وليس له من دونه أولياء أولئك في ضلال مبين. And 23, 93 to 98. Rabbe Matrima Yuadun Rabbe Falada Jolni Velkamel Falamin Wanalan Riakmanadum Qaderun Idfa Baladia Hasanu Sayatu Nahnum Alamum Bema Yasatun Rabbe Auz Kamanamazat Shayatin Wauz Bikbarabia Yahturun. And Surah 2, ayat 97 to 103. Oman ganadu walang jibrila vanau nazala walang kamikna benalan sadakal lima binayanya wawudan wabushral muminin man kanadu walang katawa rasuli wajibila wami kalapanala waduwan al-kafirin walaqad anzalna lika yadamayana wama yakfuru bi'al-fasaqun وَكُلَّمَا هَادُوا أَتَّنَّمَنَّا فَرِيقٌ مِّنْهُمْ بَلْ أَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ وَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ مُصَدِّقٌ لما معهم نبذ فريق من الذين أوتوا الكتاب كتاب الله وراء ظهورهم كأنهم لا يعلمون واتبعوا ما تتلو الشياطين على ملك سليمان وما كفر سليمان ولكن الشياطين كفروا يعلمون الناس سحر وما أنزل على الملكين ببابل هاروت وماروت وما يعلمان من أحد حتى يقولا لا من أحد حتى يقولا إنما نحن فتنة فلا تكفر سيتعلمون منهما ما يفرقون به بين المرء وزوجه وما بدارين به من أحد إلا بإذن الله ويتعلمون ما يندرهم ولا ينذرهم ولقد علموا لمن اشتروا ما له في الآخرة من خلاق
walabisa masharabaya fusahum laukanu yalamun walaunam mamanu wataku lama tubatan minindala kairun laukanu yalamun.
And I would say those verses in different orders, but I would pick out those 5 verses. I mean, those selections.